Listen, you guys ever get in a fight? I was not a fighter. Well, I wasn't a coward. I just wasn't a fighter. I could usually talk my way out of stuff. But I was never a fighter. I got in one fight in my life. Well, besides with my brother. That was a daily occasion. But one fight at school. I was walking up the steps, these old hard concrete steps with the metal frame on them. These things are torture chambers. And I'm going up these steps, and the guy in front of me, I was the problem. I was smarting off the guy in front of me, making fun of him. Some weak little music guy, and I was making fun of him and ragging on him. He took his trombone, swung it back, caught me right in the chest, and knocked me down a flight of steps. I didn't expect that. He just, when he caught me completely off guard, I'm tumble. Elbow, wrist, cheek, bouncing on that hard cotton. Well, I was mad. Oh, my goodness. I jumped up. I ran after him. I caught him right outside our homeroom. I grabbed him with the shirt, and I had my fist drawn back. I was just going to nail him. I'd have been in a fight in my life, but I was mad. And just when I pulled my fist back, the teacher opened the door and said, I wouldn't do that. And I didn't. Ended up in the principal's office, of course. My dad was called. Dad came in. We're both sitting there. The boy I was going to get in the fight with and me. Skinny little, weak little, puny little guy. And we're sitting there, and my dad comes in and says, you getting a fight? For what? What? What's it about? Nothing. Oh, who are you getting a fight with? Him. And my dad just looked at me like, what? You did what? That was another one, grabbed you by the Dad just drugged me out, got in the car, took me home. I'm going back to work. I get home, we're going to talk about this. And he gave me 4 or 5 jobs to do that had to be done before he got home. He said, you take care of that, we'll talk about it later. But I wasn't in much fight. Wayne Welch, my good friend, been a good friend of mine for years, was a fighter. Wayne loved to fight. Wayne would get into fights that weren't even his. He'd just see a fight and go join it. He didn't know what was going on, who was fighting who. We were at High Point Lake once, standing there talking by his car, and he goes, I'll be back. And he just took off. I said, what? Where are you going? And he just left. He comes back 10 minutes later, got a big red mark on his cheek. His shirt is ripped. I said, what did you do? He said, there was a fight over there. And you felt like you had to get in it? He said, well, that was Wayne. Wayne had huge hands. He do a fist like that, and Wayne's was twice the size of mine. Wayne just had huge. He wasn't a big guy. He wasn't any bigger than I was, but he had huge hands. And loved to fight, just loved to fight. I never got in a fight with Wayne. I knew better. I picked on little scrawny kids, tried to fight with them. But a fight, my brother and I used to get in fights all the time. He was a big guy, about 6'4", but I didn't care. I was possessed. When I got in a fight with my brother, I'd just come at him. He'd hit me 4 times. Every one time I could hit him, but that one felt good when I finally got it in. We were at the bus stop one day, and he was making fun of me in front of girls, which was not good. I was in junior high. He was in high school. He stands there at the bus stop. He says, hey, listen, you guys get a good night's sleep last night? I couldn't. Dennis still sleeps on plastic sheets, And every time he turns over, plastic sheets just rattle. I can't sleep for all the noise in there. And he's making, and I'm standing there going, by the way, I didn't sleep on plastic sheets. You guys are sitting there looking at me like, you didn't? No, I did not. And he's aggravating me right now, and he's ragging me, and just kept on cutting. And all these girls standing around going, and I've had enough. He's standing there with his books. He's a cool high school guy. Got his books under this arm, hand in this pocket. Just standing. So he's pretty helpless. I sort of eased over close to him. The bus is coming down the road. I'm just waiting. Got a little bit closer. Just when the bus pulled up, I let him have it. I walked up beside him. I hit him. I think both my feet came off the ground. I hit him as hard as I could, right there. And he ripped his pants. He tried to get his hand out of his pocket and ripped all the way to the knee. Just tried to get his hand out to block that shot. And I said, I hit him. As soon as I hit him, I was gone. I just took off. He was bigger than me, but I could outrun him. I was always quicker than he was. I don't think I looked back for about 3 blocks. I just gone. down the road. Finally got home. He's not here. Okay, he's not. Good. And I thought, okay, now what? You missed the bus. Your brother's going to kill you when he gets home. I just went in the house and, I don't know, I ate ice cream most of the day, just hung out. He got home that night. He walked in, and never forget, he walked in and said, hey, Dennis. And I thought, okay, go ahead, get it over with. He said, that was a good shot. That was a good shot. I didn't know I was upsetting you that bad. I'm sorry. I could have died. My brother apologized to me, and after I hit him, he ripped his pants and all kinds of... That was amazing.